Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to all of my Pisces. If you are a Pisces sun, moon, rising, or north node, this is your tarot reading for the upcoming month of October. And in case anybody is interested, I will be using the Every Little Thing You Do is Magic tarot deck. So let's see what the cards have in store for the month. Okay, Pisces. Okay, so first we had the King of Swords and the Three of Cups jump out together. The Wheel of Fortune came out shortly after. And then the Chariot's at the bottom of the deck. And the Hermit's under the Chariot, which I think mm, I'll do the reading and see if and how the Hermit does want to come out. But right off the bat, everything upright, first of all, two major arcana cards, a king and the Three of Cups, which is one of the most prominent celebration cards in the tarot. So October might be a month of Pisces, you guys just coming back to yourself. It might begin with a little bit of isolation, and through that isolation, you're finding finding calm. Through that isolation, you're finding contemplation. So it might start off with a little bit of isolation, but it's a contemplative isolation. It's not something that you're doing to be unhealthy or just separate yourself from the whole. It's an isolation that has purpose. It's an isolation for some sort of mental growth or mental health, spiritual growth, spiritual health in that realm. And I think it's almost, in your case, this is a preparation for what is to come, especially with this Three of Cups energy. Like I just mentioned, Three of Cups is a card of celebration and harmony and togetherness. It's really a card about community. So it's almost as if you are taking time to yourself, Pisces. You guys are extremely empathetic. You guys take on energy like sponges. So it's almost like, even if it's at an unconscious level, you're taking time for yourself before diving into the celebration and the harmony and the togetherness of being with everyone. Because even when it's good energies, you're still absorbing energies of other people, which could throw off your own energies, make you tired, make you disconnected from your own faculties. So with this isolation, again, there's a purpose to it. It's almost like you're recharging yourself, getting your mental health in check so you can emerge and be present in the celebration. And Pisces, you guys are often known to be kind of head in the clouds type people. So it's almost like you're taking your time for yourself so you can be more available and more present for the people around you who want to celebrate you for whatever reason that is. And the Wheel of Fortune, this is with this spread right here, this is a very prominent energy. This is a good luck energy. And I think it comes in terms with the celebration. So it's possible that in your own isolation as well, you might be working on a project, especially writing. Some of you might be authors and maybe you're coming to the end of a book you're writing, or you're working on publishing, or you have finally published something. It's not going to resonate with everyone, so of course take it as it does, but swords is a mental energy and typically connects with writing. So it's possible that's what that celebratory energy is. It's the people that you love are finally able to celebrate the fact that this big milestone in your life is now complete. Let's celebrate. And the Wheel of Fortune, if that is the case, if this is focused on a project, the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot tell me that this is energy that this project is going to have an energy behind it that's going to take it very far. That's going to take you very far in your finances, in your social status, in your reputation. If this is a new book, this is looking very, very promising for what's to come. And of course, the Chariot just emphasizes that it's fast paced. It's going toward your destination with everything you need and very steadily but quickly. It's a sturdy energy. It's something that carries you for a long time, for however long you need it to. And you got 2 horsepower here. It's fast paced, fast moving energy that's bringing you into alignment with where you're supposed to be. So October it seems like a very, very promising month for you, Pisces. Let's get some clarifying cards for additional information here. Okay. Oh my gosh. So we have the Ten of Wands reversed, and then the Hierophant's at the bottom of the deck, and the Fool under the Hierophant. So Ten of Wands reversed tells me that in the process of all of this celebration and contemplation and isolation and creation and all of the shuns. In the process of that, you're finally letting go of energies that don't serve you and don't belong to you. 10 of Wands went upright. It's like you're carrying a lot of burdens that are just unnecessary and again don't belong to you. Feels like the weight of the world on your shoulders, but when it's reversed, it's you're letting go. You're letting go of the necessity of that. And I'm going to bring it back to what I said earlier about Pisces being empathetic. You guys are always taking on the energy of the environment around you, and sometimes that means taking on the emotional karma of the people you love and of even of strangers. And again, as I said earlier, it can get exhausting if you don't have proper boundaries set up. With the King of Swords, because I didn't mention this earlier, the King of Swords is also a master of creating boundaries. He's in isolation because he has known how to set the boundaries to protect his own peace. And that's the energy that you're going to be working with. You're still going to be able to tap into that empathetic side of yourself, but it's in a healthy way. It's in a way where you're saying, I feel you and I am with you, but I can't take on the burden of your own trauma, your own emotions, of your own wounds. I have my own things to deal with, and I am actively dealing with them through creation, through feeling, through writing, through getting it out of me. And it's almost like this is a healthy energy for you and for the other people that you are so used to carrying the emotional burden for, because you're not taking on energies and heaviness that don't belong to you, but you're also lovingly teaching the people you love that you will be okay if you just feel through this thing. And not only will you be okay, you will be wiser. You will emerge from it with a greater sense of self, a greater sense of your own personal identity, and an understanding of the strength you have within. So you're being a sovereign leader by setting these boundaries, by not accepting the emotional load of other people. So don't feel bad about setting those boundaries either. I know if it's a new practice, this idea of setting boundaries, it can feel weird and you can feel like you're the villain. That's why I always laugh when people say they're in their villain era and it's literally just them standing up for themselves and not taking on things that don't belong to them. It's not a villain era. It's you finally becoming a whole human being and being able to stand up for yourself and being able to stand in your own energy without feeling like you need to give it to others. And as you are making space within your being by setting those boundaries and not taking on the energy of others, that's when you're going to be able to tap into this Hierophant energy. And I adore the Hierophant in the tarot. He is a divine messenger. He is open to the wisdom of the gods, to the wisdom of the unseen, the unknown. He's open to absorbing that wisdom and then delivering it to the emperor, who is then in charge of all of the empire, right? But the Hierophant himself, he is the guardian of that wisdom. He, not the guardian, he is the one that bestows the wisdom onto the emperor that helps him rule in a just manner. And you not taking on the emotional burdens of others, you not taking on the emotional energy of others, you are opening yourself up to be the divine channel that a lot of Pisces, you guys are here to be. And I'm being told to touch on writing again. If you don't have like a journal or a way to express your emotions in words, that might be really helpful right now, because Pisces, you are the 12th sign of the zodiac, which means you have all of the lessons of every other sign leading up to the very end. And at the very end, it's death, it's transformation, it's connection to the higher realms. So you guys are naturally very spiritually gifted, but because of that, it can get really difficult until you learn how to actually apply that spiritual wisdom into tangible reality in a way that you can use it in your everyday life to help you progress. So, the Hierophant is an invitation from your higher channels, from your higher energies, that's saying you have the capability to not only absorb and take in this wisdom, but to impart it unto others, to let people know what you're thinking, or it's because that's the thing, it's not thinking. Let people know what is being channeled through you. Whatever you need to do for your body to stay as open as possible in the month of October will be prominent. So, if eating more whole foods, eating more fresh foods, fruits, vegetables, maybe staying away from processed or fast food or junk food for a little bit, just to help your body rid itself of the artificial things that might be stuck inside. Um, just focus on having a healthy diet, drinking water, exercising, stretching, moving, because the more you are able to tap into that divine health and especially clear up your gut health, that's where your intuition comes in. That helps you trust the messages that come through. And not only trust the messages come through, but to be able to discern the messages that come through. Because when you are an open portal, you're not only going to get like the highest vibrational messages all the time. And as an open portal, you're still tapped into other people in this realm. So you might even think like you're telepathic because you'll have a thought in your head and say it out loud, and someone's like, I literally was just thinking that. Did you read my mind? And you're like, kind of, because I'm picking up on these frequencies. So it'll be easier to discern with a healthier gut, with a more open vessel, with a more open channel. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life or what to eat or anything like that because it's all very individualized. It's just the more whole foods you can eat, the more real foods you can eat, the more easily these messages will come through and to be able to be delivered. So again, if you want to be vegan, be vegan. If you want to be a carnivore, be a carnivore. Keto, blah, blah, blah. Do whatever you have to do to keep your body healthy and to keep that channel open and to keep your gut cleansed. And so the Fool was on the bottom of the deck, and Justice is on the bottom of the Fool as well. And there, I said something about being a just ruler earlier, and I think that taps into what I was just saying here too. So with the Fool, this is new beginnings, and it's new beginnings in an era where, again, you're setting boundaries and not taking on the energy of others, and that's opening yourself up to maybe a lot of divine frequencies you haven't been able to tap into before, or maybe you have been able to tap into before, but it was so overwhelming for you that you didn't even know what to do with it. So you just shut that channel immediately because you weren't sure how to proceed with it. This Fool welcomes this new beginning with the wisdom of the Hierophant, where you're able to channel these energies purposefully. You're able to tap into these awarenesses with a purpose. And that purpose is to deliver them out into the universe, to deliver them into tangible reality for others. This is like, this whole spread is really giving messenger. It's giving, like, I am taking care of myself. I am opening myself up to higher wisdom, to the higher frequency of creativity and generation and whatever it may be, because I have almost a mission here on earth to impart this divine wisdom. And it could look different depending on who you are. Like, again, if some of you are more into writing, you could be writing novels about the hero's journey. If you're an artist, you could be making go and I love that as Justice has a biblically accurate angel on this card. If you're an artist, you could be tapping into more divinity coded art paintings. Like think of Alex Gray in that way. I think he might be a Pisces too, or have Pisces in his chart. Um, Regardless, it's if you're a dancer, you could be dancing with more fluidity and just tapping into every single part of your body and not being so stagnant or so focused on choreography. For example, you could start, doing more improv that feels like you're holding energy in the palm of your hands. Take it as it resonates for you. But Pisces, this is what this spread is telling me. It's in October, you're going to be tapping into this divine creativity. You're going to be tapping into this ability that you've always had, that you were born with, this openness to experiencing that deeply spiritual side of life while you're in the physical. It's being able to see the unseen and then speak on it or paint about it or dance about it or oh, I have chills. It's bringing that unseen side to the people who don't have those gifts that you were born with to bring it to earth. It's almost like you're anchoring in a certain frequency of light, of spirituality, of creation, of divinity, and bringing it to the people. It's like the Renaissance. It's like that the Michelangelo painting. It's like that. You I don't want this to get to your head, but it's almost like you are the hand of God being that divine messenger and bringing that beauty and connection to the higher realms, to reality. And I have chills. I have chills. And it's a really, really, that's part of what Justice wants to come through with as well. like I said, I don't want that to get to your head. The key here is with great power comes great responsibility, and you need to be humble with this. You need to recognize that it's not you that has power. It's not you that it's not you alone that sees these visions and are able to bring it into reality. You are a messenger. You are a messenger, and you were gifted in this life certain talents where you are able to impart those messages again into the seen reality, into the 3D realm. You have been given certain talents to allow you to take those frequencies and bring them and anchor them here on earth so we can move forward as a greater, more connected species. But it's not you. It's not about you. And that's the biggest lesson here. It's not about you. There is a humbleness that is necessary to be able to tap into this divine wisdom. And if at any point you start to get in your head about it and it starts to get really egoic, one of two things can happen. One, you can shame yourself, close up that channel and be mad at yourself, and then go into some sort of, who knows, like secular spirituality where you're being told what is the truth, you're being told how it works, you're being told rather than you're being channeled. Or you could take it the opposite direction. You could get the God complex with it and become the leader of some sort of secular group. And either way, you're losing the path. You've lost the plot there. Humbleness is key to be able to tap into these divine frequencies. And it's so important you remind yourself every single day. You give gratitude for the gifts you have to open yourself up. You give gratitude towards the talents you were bestowed in this life to be able to bring those messages and make them tangible. You give gratitude every single day. You give reverence to these things and you recognize that they don't belong to you. You are a cosmic force that can help navigate them, but they don't belong to you. And again, that's where this justice comes in. You are the human being that can channel the messages of this biblically accurate angel. You are not the biblically accurate angel. You are not the Almighty. You are not the power. You are the messenger. And I'm spending so much time on this because it feels like it needs to be said just to drive that point home. You are the messenger. And if you can tap into that and be able to channel that spiritual wisdom, that's where that celebration comes in too. That's where that celebration comes in because it's not only you celebrating yourself, it's not only your loved ones celebrating you on this physical plane, it's your guides, it's the higher spirits also being able to celebrate you in the ether realms because finally they're heard. Finally, their message can be departed on earth, and finally they can use you as a way to bring more love and openness and acceptance and beauty and artistry and spirituality and love and love and love to this earth. That is your mission here. And it almost feels like in October, I don't think it's the start, although it is a new beginning here. It's not the start. I think these are frequencies you've been able to tap into before. You just didn't really know what they were or how to utilize them. But you're going to get a lot of clarity in October of like, oh, this is why this thing happened to me in my life because then this led to this, which led me to open myself up, which led me to get my first transmission, which led me to write in my journal, which led me to make this art. Everything's going to start falling into place like dominoes once you have that awareness. But again, the key is to be humble through it all. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come out. So, the last two cards are the Hanged One, which again, basically biblically accurate cosmic angel, and then the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck here. So the Nine of Cups has a similar energy to the Three of Cups, except instead of celebration, it's more of a satisfaction. And again, that can go two ways. You can be self satisfied and really let your ego get all inflated about it, or you can just be satisfied with the work you've done. And I implore you to lean more into the latter there. Just be satisfied and give gratitude in that way. But I want to speak more on the hanged one here. So it goes back into what I was just saying about being able to reflect on, oh, this happened in my life then because it led me down this specific path, which helped me tap into my gifts, et cetera, et cetera. The hanged one is inviting you through all of this, through all of your journey, all of your experience, to really reflect with each passing moment. Reflect on where you've been, how you've gotten there, and what's next. And what's next. And in that reflection, again, just tap into that humbleness, tap into that ability to discern, tap into that divine wisdom, but especially recognize that it doesn't belong to you. The hanged one is really just an emphasis of everything I've just been saying. And it's a really reflective energy. It's being present. It's going nowhere. It's needing nothing and it's letting those energies come to you. It's not an energy that seeks out, it waits. And I think that's what this is. So as you're learning this happen, you can get really excited and try to force these messages to come through through like substance use or anything like that. The hanged one is saying, don't do that. Let the messages come to you when they're supposed to come to you because divine timing is everything. And if you try to push too hard, you could be leading yourself into more unhealthy mental states. So let them come to you in their own time. Do not force the flow. Do not force the flow. That's the biggest emphasis there. And this just wants to be said one more time. There is a big responsibility with this energy. There's a big responsibility with having these gifts. So make sure you're using them for the benefit of the whole, not just for the benefit of you. And with all of that said, this, of course, was a general reading, so it's possible not everything will resonate. If that is the case, I highly recommend you check out my website. You can book directly with me on there for tarot, astrology, or human design. You can also check out my Patreon. I always post spiritual content there. Right now, we're working on human design, so if you are interested at all in that, highly recommend to check that out. And of course, if you did like this reading, if anything resonated, give me a like, give me a comment, let me know how it resonated, or even follow my channel. I post tarot content every single month for each sign, so definitely more to come there. But Pisces, again, this is a gift. This reading is a gift, and what you have within you is a gift. And I implore you to use it responsibly. Because when you do, the world is literally yours in the best way and in a way that's connected to universal love for the good of all and the harm of none. I'm excited to see what you do with it. Until next time.